You're barely awake. It's Saturday morning.
Honestly, the best time of the week.
Right. You take that first sip of coffee, you're finally ready to just relax, and then your phone rings.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It's your in-laws. They're breezing through town. They say they're about 3 hours away. And, well, they've decided they are staying with you for the weekend.
That is the universal nightmare scenario.
Totally. So you sprint upstairs to prep the guest room, and that is when you see it.
Let me guess. Something's broken.
Yep. The shower is just this broken, dripping mess. And the tiles, they look like they literally haven't seen a sponge since, like, 2015.
Yeah, that is a panic-inducing moment because suddenly you realize you just don't have the tools or, the skills to fix it.
Exactly. I mean, a decade ago, this was a weekend-ruining disaster where you'd be frantically flipping through a phone book, leaving these desperate voicemails for plumbers.
Plumbers who definitely won't call you back until Monday.
Right, but today, you just reach into your pocket, pull out your phone, and it's handled.
Because we are officially in the golden age of on-demand home service apps.
Yes, we are. And that is exactly our mission for this deep dive today. We're going to explore this absolutely massive, booming world of home service platforms.
It really is booming.
It is. We want to help you figure out exactly which of these apps fits your specific household crisis. And we're going to look under the hood at the hidden mechanics of how they actually operate.
Which is fascinating because this isn't just some niche tech market anymore.
Not at all. I mean, look at the sources we're pulling from today. The home service app market is projected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of over 21%.
It's just staggering.
From 2022 through 2030, over 21%.
Yeah. To put that in perspective, a sustained 21% growth rate over an 8-year period is, well, it's astronomical.
Right.
We aren't just talking about a trend where people occasionally hire a dog walker. We are witnessing a permanent shift in how we manage our physical spaces.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because to me, this rapid growth, it feels exactly like the early days of ride sharing.
Oh, that's a really good comparison.
Right. Think back to when the idea of summoning a stranger's car from the internet and just, getting in the back seat felt completely wild.
I felt almost dangerous at first.
Exactly. We had to undergo this massive societal shift to learn to trust that system.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going through that exact same transition, but with our actual home.
Our private, intimate living spaces.
Yeah. We're learning to effortlessly summon plumbers and deep cleaners and handymen to just step inside our houses with a tap on a screen.
And, these platforms are doing much more than just providing a quick fix for a leaky faucet. They are fundamentally rewiring the gig economy.
How so?
Well, they're changing how independent professionals find their work, how local pricing is established, and ultimately, how you value your personal time against the cost of maintaining your home.
That makes a lot of sense. So if we really want to understand where we are today, we have to look at the heavyweights, right?
Definitely.
The pioneers.
Right, the veterans that paved the way for this whole industry. Because there are two very different philosophies at play here. Take TaskRabbit, for example.
Oh, yeah, they've been around forever.
Over 12 years. They are a true veteran. And they've scaled massively. They're in nearly 50 U.S. cities, 18 cities in the U.K., across Canada.
They have something like 700,000 users, right?
Yep, and nearly 150,000 independent contractors on the platform.
And what's interesting is that those contractors have really built their reputation on highly specific, contained chores.
Like putting together a desk.
Exactly. In fact, one of the most brilliant strategic moves in the history of this industry was TaskRabbit's official partnership with IKEA.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is genius.
It was a perfect synergy of consumer frustration and immediate solution. I mean, IKEA sells you this affordable flat pack box of heavy wood.
That will absolutely test your sanity. And your marriage, yes. And TaskRabbit sells you the person to put it together so you don't ruin your weekend. They literally monetize the friction of furniture assembly.
You buy the bookshelf, you book the tasker, closed loop. But then you look at a platform like Angie, which, most people probably still remember as Angie's List.
Right, they rebranded.
Yeah, and they are taking a completely different approach. They aren't just doing flat pack furniture. Angie offers a staggering 500-plus categories.
500.
Yeah, everything from basic lawn care all the way up to full structural home remodeling. And honestly, I have to push back on this like everything store model.
You're skeptical.
Very. I understand getting a desk built by an app, but I wouldn't trust the same app that cleans my gutters to rip out my kitchen cabinets.
It feels like a stretch.
Exactly. How on earth can a platform maintain quality control across 500 highly specialized categories? Isn't there a massive risk of them being a jack of all trades, but a master of none?
What's fascinating here is that Angie's leadership clearly recognized that exact vulnerability.
Okay, so they know it's a problem.
Right. Because you simply cannot price, manage, or ensure quality on a $30,000 kitchen remodel the same way you manage a 2-hour carpet cleaning.
The stakes are just entirely different.
Exactly. Which is why Angie operates on a hybrid model. For those simple, predictable chores, they offer fixed, upfront pricing. You tap the app, you know what it costs.
But for the big stuff.
For the complex tasks, the platform shifts gears. They stop being a store and they start being a matchmaker. They require custom quotes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they recognize that highly specialized work requires a professional to physically assess the job in person before a price can ever be locked in.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because if Angie is facilitating these massive custom quotes, while TaskRabbit is just charging for 2 hours of assembly, the money has to flow differently, right?
Oh, absolutely.
The way these apps actually monetize your broken shower directly dictates the experience you have on the app and, how much you ultimately pay.
The user interface might look incredibly similar across all of them, usually just a clean white screen with a search bar.
Yeah, they all look the same.
But the back-end business models, the hidden mechanics of how they extract value, are wildly different. There are basically 4 main ways these apps operate behind the scenes.
So how are they actually making their money? Like if I'm using an app like Thumbtack, am I paying the app directly or am I paying the plumber?
On Thumbtack and similar platforms like Bark.com, you are dealing with the pay-per-lead or subscription model.
Okay.
In this scenario, you, the customer, don't pay a fee to the app at all. The app is totally free for you to use.
Wait, really? Then how do they make money?
The professional pays the platform just to get your contact info, and the prices those pros pay fluctuate wildly based on the demand of the job.
Wow. So they buy the lead.
Right. If you post that you need a major HVAC repair, which is a high-ticket item, a pro might pay Thumbtack $25 to $50 just for the lead.
Just for the chance to quote me.
Exactly. But if you're looking for a ped sitter, the lead might only cost that worker $5. Thumbtack also charges Po's monthly subscription tiers, like $25 or $50 a month, just to communicate with customers.
Wait, so Thumbtack is basically a dating app.
Huh? That's one way to look at it.
No, seriously. The professionals are paying just to swipe right on my broken toilet. They're paying for the chance to message me, even if I end up hiring someone else. That is a massive risk for the gig worker.
It's a huge risk. They have to run their own internal math constantly. Paying $50 for a lead on a $5,000 AC job makes sense.
Sure.
But they wouldn't risk that on a small gig. That's why you also have the bid-based model, like an app called All Better.
How does that one work?
This is a completely different mechanism. You post your flooded bathroom, and contractors review the job and set their own rates. They actively bid against each other.
Oh, and then I get to choose.
Exactly. You choose who to hire based on a combination of their price and their past reviews.
So that bid-based model is great if I'm like a planner looking for a deal. But what about my Saturday morning panic? I don't have time to review bids while water is leaking through my ceiling.
Right. You need action immediately. That's when you turn to the flat or time-based model.
Which ones are those?
Apps like Diem in the US and Canada operate this way. They skip the bidding entirely and just hand you a trice. A 2-hour deep cleaning is $89, period.
No negotiation.
None. A handyman starts at $85. Or look at an app called Homey, where you just agree to a flat hourly rate, usually between $50 and $100 an hour, depending on the service.
That's like walking into a restaurant with a fixed menu. You don't negotiate with the chef over the price of a burger, right? You look at the menu, you pay the $89, and you get the cleaning.
It's pure convenience.
Yeah.
And finally, you have the fee on top model, which brings us back to TaskRabbit.
Okay, the IKEA builders.
Right. In this model, you pay the worker's set hourly rate, but then the platform tax on their cut at checkout.
Ah, the hidden fees.
Yep. TaskRabbit currently adds a 15% service fee plus a 7.5% trust and support fee directly onto your final bill.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, you have to understand why these hidden mechanics matter to you when you're standing in that flooded bathroom.
It's so important.
It is a fundamental trade-off between your time and your money. A bid-based app like AllBetter might absolutely save you cash because contractors are undercutting each other.
Right.
But it requires you to spend your Saturday morning reading bids, vetting profiles, and negotiating. A flat rate app like Diem completely removes your ability to negotiate, but it saves you an immense amount of time.
You just tap the button and someone shows up.
Exactly. You have to match your current stress level to the correct business model.
That is the crucial takeaway. Are you optimizing for cost or are you optimizing for speed?
Always a tough call in an emergency.
It is. But, while we sit here analyzing Western apps like Thumbtack and TaskRabbit, the way the rest of the world is adapting this exact same technology is completely different.
Really? How so?
The global marketplace for home services reveals some wild cultural divergences in what the term home service actually means.
That's interesting because we think we have it all figured out with our specialized apps. Like we have one for the dog, one for the house, one for the car.
Very fragmented.
Yeah. But you look at a platform like Urbancompany, and they're playing a totally different game. They're a massive player operating across the U.S., Singapore, Saudi Arabia, India, and the UAE.
Over 5 million customers.
Yeah, 5 million. But what makes them stand out isn't just their geographic scale, it's the sheer dizzying variety of what they offer. They do standard home repairs, sure, but they also offer at-home beauty treatments, wellness routines, pest control, and incredibly actual healthcare services.
All in one place.
And I have to stop you right there because I find this fascinating and, well, a little jarring.
Okay,
You're telling me I can open a single app, book someone to come spray my kitchen for cockroaches, and then use that exact same interface to book a healthcare professional for my family.
That's exactly right.
Is that incredibly convenient, or is that actually slightly unsettling? Because to a Western consumer, mixing pest control and medical care in one app feels like crossing a very weird boundary.
This raises an important question because it does feel unsettling to us in the West, sure. But look at it from the perspective of a consumer in Dubai or India.
Okay.
What you're reacting to is the super app phenomenon. Western markets, specifically the US and Europe, we have a culture of fragmented trust.
We want everything separate.
We actively prefer highly specialized apps. We want one app for our doctor, a different one for the dog walker, and another for the plumber. It feels safer to us because it feels specialized.
Right.
But international markets, particularly in Asia and the Middle East, they are deeply embracing the all-in-one centralized platform. They don't want app fatigue.
They want it all under one roof.
Exactly. They want a single, highly trusted corporate brand that handles every single aspect of their domestic life. And many global analysts believe that centralized model, the super app, is actually the inevitable future globally.
Wow. It's definitely a different mindset regarding digital trust. And you see that unique cultural localization in other international apps too, addressing highly specific local needs.
Oh, absolutely.
Like in India, there's an app called Zimber, which was eventually acquired by Quicker. They do the standard plumbing and painting, but they also offer laptop and PC repair right at your kitchen table.
That's so convenient.
And they offer on-demand drivers. They even bundle these things into broad home refresh deals.
Yeah.
And another Indian app, HouseJoy, completely sets itself apart by providing insurance coverage for its customers directly within the app.
Which is a massive trust builder. In markets where unregulated gig work can be highly variable or even risky, baking insurance directly into the transaction is how the platform proves to the consumer that they are safe.
It's all about trust.
Yep. And if we look at the Middle East, the localization is just as tailored to the climate and culture. In Saudi Arabia, you have DR.
EARI, right?
Yes. They focus heavily on smart property management and at-home car washes, which makes perfect sense, as keeping vehicles clean in a dusty desert climate is a constant chore.
I wouldn't have even thought of that.
And in Dubai, Service Market offers over 35 services, including booking nannies, maids, and, crucially, AC repair.
Obviously essential there.
Right. And they are fiercely transparent about pricing. For instance, AC repair has a specific AED 150 cal-out fee just for the technician to show up in your door, regardless of the fix.
Delivering that kind of sprawling variety from healthcare in Singapore to air conditioning in Dubai to building a bookshelf in Chicago all through a single interface requires a staggering amount of technological infrastructure.
It really does.
We are talking about the architecture of convenience. What does it actually take to build one of these platforms from scratch so that it doesn't just, crash the moment a million people need a plumber?
Well, to make a super app work, or even a specialized local app, it requires a digital foundation that is essentially flawless.
Flawless. No pressure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
According to development experts, there are absolute must-have features that define whether an on-demand app survives today. You need live tracking with highly accurate online maps.
So the customer can see exactly where the pro is.
Yes. You also need 24/7 live support, instant push notifications, multi-language and multi-currency support, and ironclad secure payment gateways.
So what does this all mean? To me, building a home service app is exactly like building a physical house.
I like that analogy.
You can design all the fancy light fixtures and beautiful paint you want, which in this case is a slick user interface or some trendy AI job matching. But you cannot install any of that cosmetic stuff until you have poured a rock-solid concrete foundation.
The foundation is everything.
Right. And for these apps, that foundation is secure payment gateways and live GPS tracking. If the map doesn't work or the credit card processing glitches, the whole house crumbles instantly.
Because it all comes down to basic human psychology. Features like the live tracking dot moving on a map as the worker approaches your house, or a transparent multi-currency payment screen. These aren't just nice-to-have tech features. They are the psychological baseline required to establish safety. Think about the vulnerability of the transaction. You are unlocking your front door and inviting a complete stranger into your private sanctuary.
It's incredibly intimate.
It is. Without a seamless, totally transparent technological experience leading up to that knock on the door, the customer simply will not trust the human standing on the other side of it. The reliability of the app's code guarantees the reliability of the human being in the mind of the consumer.
And building that flawless trust engine is not cheap. And the costs vary wildly depending on where in the world you write that code.
So geographic differences in development costs are huge.
You don't have to look at a spreadsheet to see the disparity. If you are building one of these platforms and you hire developers in the US, you are paying top dollar. Anywhere from $80 to upwards of $150 an hour.
Wow.
Yeah. In Western Europe, it drops slightly, like 50 to 120 an hour. But if you offshore the development to Eastern Europe, you're looking at 30 to 100.
And then there's India.
Right. India is currently the most cost-effective region for this massive infrastructure development, coming in at $20 to $80 an hour, which is why companies like Enatega are exploding.
What do they do?
They specialize in building the exact back-end architecture for businesses looking to jump into this 21% growth market. You can build the exact same tech for a third of the price if you know where to source the coding.
It's a massive, invisible global supply chain of code, design, and localized marketing, all working together in the background just so you can get your leaky faucet fixed on a Saturday morning without having to speak to a single person on the phone.
It really is a modern marvel when you step back and look at the sheer scale of it. So let's bring this all together for you.
Good idea.
The next time you are faced with a broken pipe, a house that desperately needs cleaning, or a sudden anxiety-inducing weekend visit from your in-laws, remember that you have a massive digital toolkit sitting right in your pocket.
But you have to use it right.
Exactly. The trick isn't just downloading a random app. It's matching your specific, immediate need to the correct platform's hidden business model. Do you have the luxury of time to hunt for the cheapest bid on all better?
Or do you want the lightning-fast, no-negotiation flat rate of a DM?
Right. Or do you need the insured, heavily vetted safety net of a platform like HouseJoy?
And as you navigate those choices, keep the primary considerations we found across all these sources in mind. Don't just look at the shiny hourly rate.
Oh, definitely not.
Always check the payment screens for hidden fees. Remember TaskRabbit's added trust and support fee. Take 3 seconds to look for promo codes, because in a market growing this fast, these apps offer heavy discounts just to acquire you as a first-time user.
That's a great tip.
And perhaps most importantly, verify that the app actually has a dense network of active professionals in your specific zip code before you rely on it. An app with 5 million global users is entirely useless to you if none of them live in your town when the water is rising.
Always check the service area before the pipes burst. But, looking at all of this, the explosive 21% growth, the seamless tech, the super apps, the fact that you can now summon any conceivable repair or cleaning to your doorstep with a fingerprint.
It's wild.
It is. And it leaves me with one really provocative thought about the future. Given all this, will the traditional concept of home ownership eventually disappear entirely?
Disappear.
Imagine a near future where you don't actually own your appliances or maintain your walls or worry about the plumbing. Instead, you just pay a monthly home uptime subscription to one of these mega platforms.
Wow.
They use smart sensors to autonomously monitor your house, and they automatically dispatch gig workers to fix things before you even realize they are broken. You stop being a homeowner and you just become a subscriber to your own living space.
That changes everything.
It really does. So the next time it's 9 a.m. and your family calls to say they are on their way, maybe you won't even have to sprint upstairs to look at the guest room shower. The app will have already fixed it while you were sleeping.